Vielen, vielen Dank an euch beide. Ich kündige es schon mal an, wir switchen jetzt auf Englisch, denn wir warten auf Michael von der Oddweils Distillery aus Kanada. Und ich bin schon ganz aufgeregt. Deswegen switchen wir jetzt auf Englisch, denn we also have Denise and Pascal from Alles Over Gin as our ginfluencers. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Yeah, thanks.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Very well. We just had great conversation. It's been very nice so far. And there's Michael on time. What a timing. Thank you, Michael. You're still on mute.
I think he is.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. All right. The stage is yours. If someone has questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat or directly with video and audio. But yeah, Denise, Pascal, Michael, feel free. Go on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Maybe at first we want to introduce ourselves a little bit also for the persons in this conversation. So we are Pascal and Denise from Alles Over Gin, the first official gin platform in the Netherlands, and
Yes,
we started about 2 years ago from our passion for gin. But it's not about us today. So we're really curious about the O'Dwyer Distillery and your products. So maybe you can talk us through. So how did you start it? Where did it start it? And where are you now? And let's go through the process. And if we have any questions, we will ask them to yourself.
No worries. So yeah, excuse me. I just want to grab some bottles so I can show you guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. We started our distillery 4 years ago. 4.5 years ago, I was at university in engineering, and my university is about 10 hours away from where we live in, which is called Gaspé. Gaspé is a small town, about 5,000 people. Yeah. And when I came back for an internship, I realized that what was missing in our region was a distillery. And because we had been distilling at university and we had been experimenting.
The bathtub gins.
Yeah. And so we had done a lot of rum stuff, and because it was easier to handle with, and we had been doing some whiskeys with my best friend, and so when I came back, I just said, look, there's an opportunity. I'll start a business plan, and I launched a Facebook page. And I stole pictures from a different distillery so I could look like we're a real distillery. And then my partner, who wasn't my partner, I didn't know who he was. He sent me a message on Facebook, and he said, "Look, man, you shouldn't steal pictures from another distillery."
Oh no! You found out.
Yeah. And then he said, look, I live in Gaspé too. I'm a doctor in organic chemistry. I've already written a business plan for a distillery, but he said that's like a kind of a dream that I don't want to do anymore. And he said, if you ever need help, just come by and we'll work at it together. And so for about 4 months' time, I went to his house every other day during lunchtime, and he was helping me hash out my business plan. And he's really good with details and helping me, go into the financial side of the distillery to see if it would even work. And after about 4 months' time, he asked me if he wanted to be my partner, and or I wanted to be his partner. And so I was like, for sure. My partner, he has four young kids, and his wife is a doctor, and so they were super, super busy. But I think us working together for every other day for 4 months, during lunchtime, he realized that we worked really well together. And so we signed up. We signed O'Dwyer Distillery together, and like a week later, him and his wife bought the building where we have our distillery now.
Is this also the building where you're sitting in now? This is your storage or something, or is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Well, no, sorry. That's a
That is a picture. All right. Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
let's see.
Great wall. Great wall.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
One day. So yeah, so we did that about 4.5 years ago, and we were just kind of wondering what kind of products that we wanted to start. And so I know I wanted to start a mushroom gin, and knowing that Fred has his background in science, the experiments that I did were not good. I wanted to take all around my house was chanterelle mushrooms. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a chanterelle gin, and the experiments that I did were just not good at all. And he was,
okay.
I'm sorry, it's not going to work. And it was about, I don't know, it was a couple weeks that he came back, and he's like, I found the ratios that we needed to do. I found the types of mushrooms that will marry well together, and he was able to get the recipe profile that was perfect for what we wanted to have as a gin. And so yeah, this is the normal gin that we have. So we have the chanterelle mushroom that we have, and Radun basically means between two mountains. And so it's a place near our town, which is called the Radun, Au ras des dunes in French, between two mountains. And there's two meanings. Between two mountains, that's where mushrooms grow, not a lot of sun. And also it's a place where people used to like distill spirits for the fishermen. And so each product that we do at the distillery has a historical or geographical connotation that we wanted to talk about, basically.
Okay.
And was gin also the first product that you wanted to make, and how was it for your business partner? I mean, it was his plan, but was this also his plan to start with a gin, or did he want to make a rum or something else maybe?
Yeah, so we like our business plan basically is we'll start with the gin, and that'll be fun, and we'll become like a distillery that does whiskey. Because in Canada, in order to have whiskey, it's 3 years, and so we'll make gin, and that'll help our whiskey production. And then we realized that when we were building our business plan together, we really loved innovation. And so now what we really love to do, and we've been doing it for 4 years, is innovating new products and bringing new products to the market. And so we at the start, we really wanted to make whiskey, and then we realized there's not much innovation to do in whiskey. I mean, there are some of the best distilleries in the world that have been in business since 200 years, 300 years, and their products are really good price, like $80 a bottle. And so if we come to the market, we would have to sell a 3-year-old whiskey for like the same price, which wouldn't even compare to the quality of what we'd see on a 12-year-old whiskey, that's a 12-year-old Scotch. And so we just looked at the logical part, and we said, you know what, we're just going to continue making really weird gins. And there's one thing that we do have in Quebec, and it's maple syrup. And so we don't have molasses to make a rum. We don't have sugar to make a rum, but we do have maple syrup. And so we ferment maple syrup, and so it tastes between like a grappa and a rum or a tequila. And it's very interesting in terms of a tasting profile. And we put a piece of shine oak inside the bottle. So we age inside the bottle. And it gives it a very interesting profile, tasting profile that we weren't expecting, but it's very cool. So we're going to send that over to Germany as well, because so many people are asking as well as.
But this is the first product made of maple syrup.
So it's a new category in itself of. Thanks, man. It's a new category in itself. So, you know, let's say in Quebec, we cannot make a champagne or Calvados, you know? And so we make, you're only in Quebec, you're allowed to make acérum. And so, yeah, your maple syrup, it doesn't taste sweet at all. It's like really the sweetness is eaten up in the fermentation process. But
what's the ABV in the product?
For us, it's 43%.
43. So it's really far away from a liquor.
Oh yeah.
It's really a spirit.
We try to tell people is you know, it's not a liqueur, because if they're expecting something sweet and then they drink that, it's going to taste even more harsh, basically. And so it's definitely a spirit. Yeah.
Do you also mix it, or do you just drink it on itself?
You know, it's only been on the market for about 3 or 4 months, and we haven't really had the time to make cocktails with it, because it's very interesting when you just drink it like a whiskey with a little bit of ice. I enjoy drinking it like that, but there are some artisan cola tonics that could go well together with it. Yes, for sure. And I just wanted to mention, this is our aged gin, and so we age our mushroom gin in a rye barrel where there's Canadian whiskey in it before.
Okay.
We wash the barrel for about a week's time in water, and then we put our gin in the barrel for 15 months. It took us 2 or 3 years to discover that the rye barrel was exactly what we wanted, and also the duration. So before, it was 6 months of aging, but it really tasted like gin with tiny little notes of rye. And now I find it's perfectly well balanced at 15 months of aging in the rye barrel.
Okay. And what would happen, maybe a stupid question, if you didn't wash the barrel and you put in the gin right away? Don't you think that you get the stronger taste you're looking for?
Well, that's the thing. So if you ever buy a barrel like from a distillery, what a lot of people would do back in the day was they would just put water in it and slush it around, which is called slush, and then they would empty it out, and it would be strong. They would leave it sit for a little while, and then it would be really strong alcohol, which would come out. We didn't want to make a slush with our gin. We're the only distillery to wash it with water for a week. A lot of distilleries, they put their gin in right away, but we didn't want our product to be whatever the preceding product was with notes of gin. We wanted our gin with notes of the preceding product.
Yeah, I see.
So we thought that was the right way to go about it.
All right. And if we take it a little step back, because I'm really curious, maybe the other people are also curious about because you're saying like you knew that you wanted to do something with mushrooms or with the cantarell, but where did the idea come from that you knew that you wanted to do something with mushrooms?
Well, the philosophy of how I interpret what gin is you take what's around you. Like, you know, the monasteries in Italy with the priests and the juniper berries, which was around the monasteries. Well, it's the same kind of concept that I wanted to use for our gin. And so around my house, it was just like mushrooms. And I know that cooking with mushrooms, it gives like an absolute amazing aroma and flavor. But also, there's another reason, the name of our distillery, which is O'Dwyer. Dwyer means black. And there's a lot of Irish settlements in Gaspé, in our region, of people who were kind of trying to make a better life from themselves, coming from Ireland in 1845, 1850, trying to make a better life for them from the famine. So the famine, which is called the Black 47 here in Quebec, Dwyer means black, and so that's why we have black shirts. You know, our building is even black. Everything is black, and so the thing that the reason why that we use like a mushroom gin is because the famine was caused by a mushroom. And so it was a potato famine, but the fungus that infected the potato was actually a mushroom. And so the O means son of or descendant of. So we are all us Irish people in Quebec or in our region, we're all descendants of the Black 47 of the famine, which was caused by a mushroom. And so there was two reasons why we wanted to use a mushroom, because it was all around my house, and it was also an homage to the famine that was in Ireland in 1847.
Wow.
All right. And what we sometimes know from the distillers in the Netherlands is that sometimes it takes a really long time that you get the right product where from you say like, wow, this is what we're going to distribute. And how long did it take with O'Dwyer and their gins or your gins? A long period or short? Or?
Well, the thing is that what we realized, and it was difficult for distillers in Canada as well. You had to go to a call for tenders. So you had to apply with the government, and you had to kind of get accepted. Well, before you got accepted, you had to send them a marketing plan, and you had to try to prove to them that people would buy your product. But what I was discussing with my partner before we even applied, because it could take like 8 months, and then they'll not accept you. And so we said, what we'll do is we'll do marketing for like a year. And people are going to go to the SAQ Alcohol Commission stores, and they're going to say, where's the Radun? Where's the wild mushroom gin? And so we did that for a year. Well, for about 6 months, and then after 6 months, they made the order, and then so it was a year total. But when we applied for our wild mushroom gin, they said, okay, we'll take an order before they even tasted it. So because they knew it would sell. And then we sent them a sample. After we sent, they made an order of 1,200 bottles. Wow. And then, and so we ordered just enough things for 1,200 bottles. And then they said, send us like 3 bottles. We'll test it, and we just want to make sure that it's good. They hadn't even tested it. And then we sent it to them. About 2 or 3 weeks later, they said, we're going to cancel the order of the 1,200 bottles. We were like, oh, okay. And they said, we're going to up the order to 4,800.
What?
And so, yeah. And so just 1,200, you know. And so we had everyone working. My partner's wife, who was in her medical scrubs, my wife who was pregnant, and we had everyone like working down the line, cutting the capsule. It was beautiful to see. But I think it was a test from the Alcohol Commission stores as well to see how far they could push us. And when we're able to fill that order in such a short amount of time, I think there was a lot of trust that was built from there. And so ever since then, we've had a really good relationship.
All right.
Really good to hear. An interesting story, especially about your strategy.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of stores. They just want to make sure that the product's not going to stay on the shelves for too long. They need to have a roulement, like a rolling of the products on the shelves. And so we just said, well, we'll do our marketing before the product's even on the shelves. And so when it goes on the shelves, they'll take it off. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. But what other botanicals did you use? Not only the mushroom, I think.
No. So. We use, hold on there, I'll just grab it. There we go. So we use 4 different kinds of mushrooms, and I'll just grab those. I apologize. So we use 4 different kinds of mushrooms that marry well together. It's not all the same ratio either, because there are some mushrooms that are a lot more powerful than others. So we have the chanterelle mushroom, which is our principal mushroom that we use. The tubed chanterelle here, which is very, very powerful. We actually use 10 times less than the chanterelle. The honey mushroom, which gives it a very sweet aftertaste. And the normal candy cap mushroom. And with this, it gives it not a taste, but more of an aroma. And so the aroma that it gives, it's maple syrup aroma. And so I just wanted to make sure it wasn't my head. So I asked my daughter, who's 6 years old, I was like, her name is Roman, and I said, Roman, what does this smell like? And she said it smells like syrup. And so the gin, there's like a syrup, maple syrup tone in the aroma profile, which is very interesting.
And how does it taste? Because I have no idea how a mushroom gin will taste.
For sure. It's very subtle, the mushrooms. I mean, we have to, in a normal distillery, they're going to have like a gin basket above their pot still that they'll just change one time, or not even change during their distilling process. We have to change our gin baskets 4 times. And so we have to really make sure that, because the mushrooms are subtle. And so we have to make sure that people, if they're going to buy a mushroom gin, well, they're going to find the mushroom inside the product, right? And so it's really surprising. It's not just an aroma or a taste. There's also textures that it gives off. And so we were even surprised when we first started experimenting with distilling the mushroom. So it's hard to describe, but a lot of people say that it's the profile, the tasting profile, it changes as you're tasting. So, and the aftertaste stays for such a long time. And so you'll have different tastes that go throughout 15 seconds when you're tasting the product. And so, you know, you'll have like the chanterelle, which has kind of like a nutty kind of almond flavor. You'll find that in our gin. And the honey mushroom, you'll find that kind of sweet, that's the aftertaste, that sweet honey taste at the end. And so you'll have this chronological tasting profiles that come out in your experience.
Sounds really interesting. And yeah, you already said it. It's like a gin to try.
Yeah. So now you have like, of course, your gin, your oak gin. But is there already something new in your mind, thinking of a new product, or do you think like, well, let's first try these gins and then later, or
the kind of the values that we have at our distillery? It's exploration, and so we're always kind of searching for new things to do, and proximity, trying to find, if we're going to make something that's new, we're just kind of trying to find it as close as possible. And passion. And so we always kind of look at these values, and we always bring it towards the table when we're looking at a new product. And there is one product that has come out, and it's been insane. And so
all right, very curious.
It is it's called Pudding Stone. So it's a big mountain that's just in the mountains and the hills behind our town, and it's called Pudding Stone.
Pudding Stone.
Yeah, Pudding Stone. And so it's a cream liqueur product, and it has a taste of caramel and maple syrup, but it's actually the candy cap mushroom that we use. So all the cream liqueurs that you see in the world, they have flavor extracts, vanilla extract, this extract. But as you know, if you have ever done cooking with extracts, they're very, very bitter. And so how do you compensate for that bitterness? Well, you have to put more sugar. Yeah. And so these creams are loaded with sugar. Yeah. And when you have one glass of a cream liqueur that you'll see on the market, your stomach feels all full after like one glass, and you don't feel well. Well, this cream liqueur, since we use mushrooms in order to give it that kind of sweet flavor, we don't have to put sugar in it. And so people cannot believe, like, as you see, there's no mushroom on the branding, because no one will buy a cream mushroom liqueur. No one. It's like kind of as like a thing at the end that we say, like, by the way, that's mushrooms that you taste. But that's like our next our big thing that we have got going on at the distillery.
Wow, really nice. Yeah, really interesting products. And I think for us, it's the first time that we hear that somebody's using mushrooms to produce their products.
Yeah, and kind of like a big mushroom community here in Quebec. It kind of started about 7 years ago, people picking their own wild mushrooms. And we just said, look, it's kind of like a perfect storm of distilleries are on the rise. There's a lot of new distilleries everywhere. And also the mushrooms are on the rise too. And so we said it's just like perfect timing, because we are big fans of picking mushrooms as well. And it goes well in our in what we want as a product using mushrooms.
Yeah. And are you still the only distiller in the area, or do others see like, hey, this is going well, let's start my own business as well?
No, for sure. There's 2 other distilleries in the area.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're, Gaspésie is, I mean, the two other distilleries in the area, they're an hour and a half away, and the other one is 3 hours away. So when I say in the area, there's so much space.
Yeah. It's not like in Holland. In 3 hours, you're in Germany. So.
Yeah, no, that's right. And it's a good community too. I mean, we are competitors, and we're very competitive, but we help each other out if someone's stuck, you know, in whatever circumstance.
Oh,
I was just about to say that. It's so strange to hear that Canadians are competitive, because usually Canadians are known as being so sweet and so kind and so polite.
Oh no, we got our competitive nature as well. But we are I mean, the one person who has the distillery, they're friends of they're friends of ours as well. So we enjoy helping them out, and whenever we go to their end of the region, we visit them. So we always want to see like what they have cooking up and what new innovations they have too.
Sounds great.
Anything else?
I think time is up, or no? We have more questions, but I'm not sure if we have the time for this.
You can still go on until the next one arrives. So we're waiting for Paolo from Imagine Spirits. So
Okay.
as soon as he's not around, feel free to go on.
I'm curious how to drink the gin. Do you drink it in a gin tonic, in a cocktail, in a mix? What do you
But
prefer?
in the presentation that I did, there was a lot of people like saying, "What kind of tonic do you use?" Or how does it marry well with tonic? And to be honest with you, so as you know, like tonic was made in order to hide the taste of alcohol, because alcohol didn't taste very good before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so now with like such high quality alcohols and spirits on the market, you want to make sure that the tonic that you do use, you can still taste the spirit without having to put too much spirit in.
Exactly.
And so a really good tonic that would be good is kind of like a subtle, almost like a tonic water with cucumber notes.
Okay.
The cucumber goes really, really well with our product. So what I'll do is I'll just put tonic water, and I'll put long slices of cucumber in a Tom Collins glass, and I find that marries perfectly together. If I want something simple as well, because I think everything has to be simple when you're making a cocktail, just so you can make it with your friends and you can not spend so much time making the product. Is a dirty martini. It's just, you don't even have to put much vermouth in when you use it with our aged gin. That wood kind of flavor comes out as well. Goes perfectly together. The dirty martini is really awesome. But the normal tonic that you'd see like on the market at the grocery store, a lot of the charm of the mushroom goes away when you're mixing like 1 ounce to 3 ounces or 4 ounces of tonic. If you want to be able to taste the mushroom, it would have to be like half and half.
I see.
Yeah.
And what kind of tonic brands do you have there?
A lot less than in Europe and in Germany, to be honest with you. We just have like normal, like I saw that Schweppes has like so many flavors. In Canada, we just have one flavor of Schweppes tonic.
All right.
Yeah. So that flavor that is used, it's really high in agrumes, citrus, and it's hard to taste the mushrooms when you have a lot of citrus in the cocktail.
Yeah, I see.
Yep.
And about the bottle, did you know what kind of bottle you wanted to use, or was it like, okay,
Well, we just wanted to be different, and so we said we'll use like a square rectangular bottle, and then we realized, because we go to the store and it's like all the bottles are round, everyone has round bottles, and so we said square bottle, and now we know why that everything is round bottles. It would be so much easier in the bottling process, and so when you have a square bottle and you're doing the labeling, it can be just a little bit, crooked, and and so it has to be perfect every single time, which makes it hard on the bottling machine. And so, but we just thought it was a beautiful bottle. that represented well the class of the product that we make, and also when the bottle is on the shelf, we wanted people to see the whole label. Whereas when it's a round bottle, they'll miss about 20% on each side when they're just walking by. And so that's one of the reasons too of why we chose the bottle that we did.
Cool.
All right. And well, you're obviously from Canada, and we're now talking with people from Germany. But where are you now available in the world? So Canada, later Germany, and maybe Netherlands someday, or?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like why we're here as well, is trying to find distributors and importers as well, because it's not easy. A lot of people say that they're up for the job, but it's a complicated process of importing and distributing. And so we've had a demand. We've had a lot of emails from Germany and from France over the past years. But we will go where the demand is. I mean, we don't want to force ourselves into a country where we don't know if it'll sell well, you know. And so what we do know is that people that appreciate wild mushroom in Germany, and so wild mushrooms in Germany, and cooking with wild mushrooms. And so we're going to the places that we know have already sparked an interest. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I think, we know some people here in the Netherlands. So if you want to go to the Netherlands, we can always, maybe you can send an email, then we can introduce you to them to see what they can do. We are waiting for the gins. So you have 2 pins already.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Hi, Paolo.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh, I had to bring my dog. I left it home because I thought maybe it will not be good. Dog.
That's
Are
the
you? Nice to
advantages
see
of
you
home
again.
office.
Oh my God, I had to bring my dog. Usually I keep my dog in the office. I don't care. So nice to see you, Pascal and Denise. Nice to meet you.
Are we already done with the last conversation? So because we back in the. So is O'Dwyer still here or not?
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the end of the conversation, as you noticed. So I think we would like to thank you very much for your information and for your time.
Great.
Yeah, and please send us an email, or maybe an email, and we can get you in contact with maybe some distributors in the Netherlands. So,
All right. Great.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, very interesting products. So.
Thank you very much, Michael.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye-bye.
Hi, Michael.
Bye.
Congratulations for your distillery.
Hi.
Hi. So.
Paolo.
Hi, nice to see you guys.
Hello.
I saw all your nice posts on Instagram, so it's a pleasure to see you in person.
Thank you so much. Always nice to see your face.
So are you a couple? Can I ask you a personal question? Since it's more
we're
relaxed here.
No.
So you share
Yeah.
You're a couple. Okay, well, it's very nice that you share this passion for gin.
Yeah.
And
it was
I have to say that if it was not for my wife and the wife of Marion, which supported us, and we were the first testing our gins, and saying, no, Paul, this is not good, forget, or yes, this is good. Because I think woman has a better taste than man.
That's sometimes what we say, yes. But you still, you just proceeded with everything, and now you have your own distillery and making beautiful products. So, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, and that's why also we started with the pink gin, also because we listen to our wives.
But how did you get started? It was your idea, right?
Well, more or less, the crazy idea came from me. Then obviously also the crazy guy, Marin, which is my colleague, followed me. I think it's getting connected, so maybe we can wait for him. Listen his voice too.
He's here. Marin is here.
Yes. Hello. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
So Marin is the other crazy guy which which follow in this project. And we started, I mean, we started from zero. We are two electric engineers, and we have been working since 2011 together. And then Marin, during his studies, has been producing grappa.
Okay.
And actually, the distillery of the grappa is still alive and is run by his brother. So in Istria, there is a long tradition of grappa.
Mm-hmm.
And so almost every family can still distilling its own grappa every year.
Okay.
And yeah, this is something very nice, which helped a lot because he had a lot of experience in distillation.
Yeah.
I had the idea of distilling gin many years ago when I was living in Barcelona. At that time, my wife said, "No, Paul, it's not for you."
She plays a really important role in your life. I already
Yes, you women, you have much more influence than what you think.
Exactly.
Sometimes we say no, we don't care about what you say, but then in reality, at least in my opinion, we do a lot. But anyhow, so but the last year, and then we moved to Germany. I'm now living in Germany. I had again I had some healthy problem. I was staying in an hospital for several weeks, and I say, okay, what I do with my life, and I check my dreams, and well, the dreams of to make a gin was still there. So I decided to make this gin, and thanks to mine, which otherwise I could never achieve that, we are now producing gin.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. In which year was it that you thought like, well, I'm going to make the gin? In which year are we talking about then? How many years back was that?
It was 7 years ago.
Okay.
The Gin Movida in Spain, it was when Gin Mare started, basically 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe 9 years, 9 years, sorry, 9 years, yes. I got married in 12 years ago, just 3 years after getting married. I want to do something else. Okay, so I drink for you guys.
All right.
No, are you married? Are you married?
No, we're not married.
Okay. No. Okay. Maybe after 3 years you are married, we also start thinking about your own distillery.
Who knows?
Then we will call you guys.
Who knows? Oh my God. Okay. Hopefully no one is listening us. No, but so that's what I had this idea to make gin, but without any knowledge, without any idea, just because I love gin. And at that time everybody wanted to drink gin and say, okay, I like to have dreams, and that's what I had. But 2 years, so November of 2 years ago, I was had this problem, and well, I said, okay, I want to do something as just electrical engineer, and for my work I have to travel a lot, so I want maybe to do something else. And then I involved Marin, which had the craziness to follow the idea and to even make it more crazier.
But was it also his dream to make a gin?
Yeah, I think so, because he started from grappa, and I'm sure that he had this dream to have a distillery one day.
Yes, well, I was in the same time, I was also thinking about doing something. So, for example,
yeah, he proposed to me actually to make beer.
Yes, so I was making home brewing for several years. And then also I was thinking about us here. The region is many with wines and grappa, so I was thinking to do something different. So and after home brewing, so then the next, after making beer, the next one is to make whiskey. But to make whiskey is very
A long, yeah, of course.
it's a long run. It's a long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the gin was something like the right choice, I guess. Yes.
All right.
And yeah, you Paolo came with the same idea at the right time. You were both there.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember we
go.
were traveling for our work in Italy, and I had brought with me, and that's was something I really like to share because this just to show how crazy is the project. I brought with me a small pot seal in the baggage. I remember I was afraid at the custom at the check-in. They will open my bag and what are you bringing? Because I was flying from Germany, from Berlin to Venice. Then I rented a car. We went to an hotel and we had a distillation in the bathroom of this hotel using the water of the to cool down. It was very and this together was our first distillation in an hotel, illegal basically in Italy, distilling gin, small pot seal of 2 liters. And basically we did our first gin traveling like that.
Yes.
You were ready to do it at home? That's why you went to a hotel?
No, it's because I'm living in Germany, Mari's living in Croatia, so we met together during this trip.
So we have a business trip. We have a business trip.
We had a business trip,
Okay.
and I brought with me not just a bottle of gin. I wanted to explain him what I was trying to do, and asking me questions, obviously. And that's what we did. We did a distillation together during a business trip in an hotel.
So how was it? How was the business? Was it good or did you stay in a hotel?
You know what? I forgot how you say balance.
You forgot your
Scale. I forgot the scale.
What is that?
The scale.
Oh, the
The
scale.
scale. Oh, all right.
I forgot the scale. So what I did, so without scale you cannot make any recipe basically, because you need just 2 grams of something.
Yeah.
And just remembering how much was on my hand, all the 12 botanicals, we could basically remake almost the same gene. And then he said, and then Marian said, "Oh, it's good. Okay, let's do that."
And how did it taste? Was it good the first time?
It was good, Marian. I think it was even better than what we did.
We were drinking everything, so.
Yeah, we drank everything. Yeah, that's what ended up the evening in the hotel, drinking our own gin. But so this was the start. And we started without really a lot of knowledge. I did some trainings here in Germany. I went to visit a distillery, but nothing really special. I went to England also, but mine had more experience. And thanks to him, we could manage to start our production. The most difficult part was to get a license, and also there, mine did a great job. Opening a distillery is not just finding a good recipe, and that's something that probably you will hear from many others producers. Sometimes it's more paperwork than
we heard.
and it's boring, and it's just a lot of bureaucracy that unfortunately for young people or for young investors can be just disappointing.
Yeah. How long did it take, the process, for getting the license then?
Marian, how long did it take?
It was about 6 months. So we found the company in June. And we got everything done end of November, beginning of September. End of November, beginning of December. Yeah, so it was around
That's quite tough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that, for example, in Italy, I'm Italian, brokers even worse, and probably you need even more time to open a distillery. I don't know about Germany. I suppose also it's between 6 and 12 months at least.
Yeah. And which botanicals do you use? How did you find them?
So we have some. I mean, I try to use some botanicals which are close to me because my history, or close to us because the distillery we wanted to use some local botanicals, like the aronia, for example, like the lavender, which is coming from our garden.
Yeah.
But also I had, like in Barcelona, I was living in a house, and the garden we had bitter orange trees, and during the spring I will never forget the smell of the flowers of these trees.
Must
So
be really
for the
nice.
gin we use the flowers of bitter orange.
Nice.
Because I have always, I will always keep this smell in my mind, and I want to make a gin with this smell. So if you test it, you will find some flower like, and especially the lavender and this bitter orange flower, and others. I mean, we in the gin industry, it's complicated to invent something because you have so many botanicals that are already used. Yeah. So we cannot just, so we pretend to make something from scratch. Mm-hmm. But there is some, like these flowers of bitter orange, which are not very common. And the aronia is quite unique. I don't know any other, basically, aronia flavored gin. And I love London Dry, and that's what is important. Also, Marin, we don't love pink gins. In general, it's very complicated for me to drink a pink gin, which is not mine.
Sweet.
Because it's very sweet.
Yeah.
So the idea when we started this project, it was to make a pink gin, which, I mean, I don't understand why a pink gin had to be sweet. I mean, okay, I understand it's meant for women, but women can drink also red wine, normal, which is very tannic. Yeah. Or can also smoke cigars. So I don't understand why we have to give this candy gin to women. Actually, it's... So I think we have to give flowers. We have to give flowers to girls, not candies. So that's what we did. We are giving flowers to the woman. So a lot of nice thing, but not sugar. And that's what we did.
But how is your pink gin now? Did you use like the same botanicals, or did you develop it from scratch?
Yeah, we developed from scratch. We had several. One second, I have my book here. Yeah. Here, I don't know, I can't see.
We cannot see
it. We cannot see it.
Because of your background.
In front of me, I have an idea. In front of me, you can see. So here, you have more than 50 different recipes.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That we had to do before arriving to the right one.
Oh.
I don't know, I can show you it again.
We can send it to you.
This is God, all the mistakes that we did, all the trials, and all the money that we spent. It's here, yeah. And that's our secret book.
So 50 trial
and since we changed, I don't think, Mario, did we change the recipe since we started?
No.
I think we just did the big mistake at the beginning, and we don't want to change our mistake, right?
But how are people responding to your gins? Do they love it? What do you think yourself? Is it like, yeah, after you tried it 15 times, like, wow, this is it?
Did you try it?
No, we haven't seen. Do you have a bottle? You can show us. Oh.
Oh. There are a lot of bottles. All right.
Oh, cool.
Still in production. Still in production. But...
Yeah. Okay.
The bottle also is very special. Ah, okay. The bottle
cool.
also is very special. If you see, it's like a carafe.
Yeah.
It has a
background is
there's an hexagonal.
Okay.
Base. You see, it's very thick. It's a carafe, and
yeah, the shape.
The shape is very special.
Yeah, nice.
To give more light. So if you use a round bottle, since it's pretty dark, you just see a black red. So that's why we use this shape so that the light can be go through easily.
I see.
Okay.
But that's
and also it has a very thick bottom.
Mm-hmm.
The light can also come from the bottom.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a really dark pink gin. Or am I?
Well, it's not pink. It's not as easy a pink also because, and that's what we learned. Our gin, it changed a little bit the colors with the time. It gets a little bit more brown, let's say, with the time, which is normal. I mean, we don't use any colorant so the color changes because the light, the sun, and so on. There is some oxidation, but the flavor tastes like that. So taste is stable. So that's what we learned. And but it's pretty dark, yes. Compared to other pink gins, which are very light pink, ours is pretty red.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Paolo, do you want to get the camera up again a little bit so we can see your face?
Yeah, thank you. You're our angel.
I have another question. How did you come up with the name Pink Robin? Why is it called Robin?
Okay, so
name of your wife.
Robin is a bird. Okay, it's not the friend of Batman. First of all,
not the friend of Batman.
This one, if you see it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And Paolo was writing it by hand, so.
I painted, yes.
He painted.
Okay.
Oh, you drew that?
Yeah, I drew that, yeah.
All right.
Whoa, okay.
So the idea why? I was almost also 3 years ago, I went to a testing of Cava. You know Cava from Catalonia? Yeah, here in Germany. And there was this testing and there was one person present like me now, today. And we say that on drinks, on wine, it's very common to put an animal. I'm sharing our secret, but I don't think anyone is listening, so I don't care.
We are recording
things,
like by the way.
Who is there? Who is there?
NSA is watching.
Okay. No, I see. I saw 13 participants, and thank you very much for looking these crazy guys. So they told, again, we are not from the drink business, from the alcohol business, from the spirit business. We are from totally different. But he said that bottles with an animal on top sells much more. I thought, why are we crazy? Well, it looks like our brain connect a bottle with the element that he knows. For example, now you see elephant on a bottle. I know the elephant, so I know the gene. It's nothing bad. Actually, it's good. You associate with an animal, and usually this association is good for your brain and for your willingness to buy this bottle. Mm-hmm. So therefore, if you look at it really at the spirit, you will find a lot of animals around.
Oh, we will check that.
All right, all right.
Well, I mean, generally you look, we have elephants, we have monkeys.
Birds.
But why was it then Pink Robin? From where Robin?
Okay. Yeah, the idea is, it's like a dream. And there is, once upon a time, there was a distiller, Martin, which was distilling his gin. Then there is a robin. He has a red breast usually. But there is a robin which is getting friend with him, with Martin. And Martin is giving him always some piece of bread and something like that. And as a like, okay, thank you, to say thanks, this robin, which usually he flies over, let's say, the Istrian country, he likes aronia berries, and he brings the aronia to the distiller as a present. And since the robin is eating the berries of aronia, his breast is not just red, but is pink.
All right.
All right, that answers the question.
All right.
So we can make a movie out of that if you want.
We should.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah.
So, and if you see the breast, oh, sorry, I have to put
You
back.
have to,
You have to change your background.
Oh, this is because the background,
Yeah.
Ariane. So it's
Marin is your assistant.
Yes.
You talk and Marin shows us everything.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Marin.
That's perfect.
He's
Thank you.
always my savior. Yes. You see,
So Paolo,
you have,
what's the ABV of the gins then? What did you choose? Which ABV did you choose?
it's 44.
44. Okay.
Yes. Nothing. I mean, since we put quite a lot of botanicals, if we go down in that, it will become like milky, the gin. This is the limit. If we go lower, it will become very milky because you still start seeing the oils disassociating from the alcohol.
Would you like to go lower though? If you could you do it?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm a London Dry gin drinker, and usually I love strong gins. For example, when I drink my gin tonic, I don't like to fill half of the glass with gin to feel something.
To feel something.
Do you have a perfect serve for your gin? What do you recommend for a gin or gin tonic?
Well, no, not especially. I think that our gin was very good with most of the tonics, and
or maybe what's your?
That's also my opinion. If you have a very good gin, you don't need some very flavored tonic to make a special gin tonic. If the gin is good, a normal tonic, it can be. Obviously, it doesn't have to be too sweety, but even with Schweppes, it works fine.
Okay.
And obviously, if you want to buy a €3 bottle tonic, I'm happy to recommend. But we don't have many recommendations. 3 cents are good, but also there are several others which are fine. And again, I can drink with Schweppes and it works fine too.
Right.
I don't know, Mario, what is your favorite?
No, you're right. Maybe the question was related to how you garnish the gin tonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, maybe yeah.
Just so as Paolo said, with regular Indian tonic and a little bit of rosemary and then lemon peel.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, since we have lemon peel as a botanical, I think it makes it match. We don't have any rosemary in the gin, But what we have seen, since we use the monk's pepper and lavender flowers, these two flavor came pretty strong if you put a little bit of rosemary in your gin tonic.
Ah, nice.
It enhanced the flavor of these two botanicals. So usually we recommend, yes, with the rosemary and a lemon peel.
Yeah. Okay. And now you guys have 2 gins. Are you planning to make another one, or do you already have something that you're working on?
Marin, you reply to that.
Currently, we have the Pink Robin now, and we are working on 2-3 other products, and we are now fighting which one will go next to the market. But as you were seeing before in the presentation, so the main two is so the Midnight, the London Dry, and the Oak Gin. So it is also similar to Pink Robin, so a London Dry gin with black truffle.
Oh.
So actually it will be flavored gin, but not too flavored, let's say.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I never heard anything about gin with truffle. No.
Yeah, that's like ironic. We want something different. We are small, so we want to find some niche market.
Yeah.
And irony, and black truffle is very peculiar of the Eastern region. So Eastern has a very good black truffle comparable to the one of Italy. And so that's why we decided to make a gin with black truffle. We call Golden Oak. Then we have, as Marin said, the London Dry, which is called Midnight. And so we are fighting now when we launch. The recipe are ready. Everything is ready. I think Marin has already some bottles ready there. So we just have to decide when we launch. Also because the coffee is not easy to launch on a new product now.
No.
And what could be the tasting notes then? Because I hear black truffle, but I'm not quite.
You're still thinking.
Yeah, I'm still thinking. What should it taste? What should it taste like?
I can give you the list of the ingredients we use for this one. I keep my
in the magic book.
So we have on the black truffle, or beside black truffle, we have juniper, coriander, angelica roots, orris roots. We have cacao.
Oh.
Okay.
Cacao beans. Beans? No, cacao.
Nips.
Nibs. Cacao nibs. We have. This is very interesting. We have.
It's your own book.
Your own book. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
We did a very good job. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, no, it's sandalwood.
Sorry?
Sandalwood?
Sandalwood. Oh, really?
Yes.
Sandalwood. What is sandalwood?
Yeah, it's like out in the Middle Eastern.
Oh, Middle East. Yeah.
That's like the wood that you always smell. It's like the Middle East smell. It's like really warm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
yes.
seafood?
No.
It's very common use in the perfumery. When you buy a perfume, especially for men, now they use a lot of the sandalwood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we use back also olive leaves from our garden, and we have some pepper, and also we have chamomile flowers. And on top we have the black truffle.
Yeah. Okay.
So is it like a really complex gin?
It's like, again, you will receive soon our Pink Robin, you will understand what is our target to make some complex gin. And although we are small, we try to make some very special.
Nice. So I think you already made a decision that this will be your next product that you will launch.
I don't know. Mine is. No, we are fighting about that.
We are fighting.
Virtually
sounds-
fighting from far away.
Yeah.
So let's ask to the people that are listening. What do you want? You want a London Dry or a truffle gin? Let's
London
see.
Dry.
I would go for truffle.
I would go for truffle. I'm very curious about that one.
Okay, 150-50 means that we'll have to bring them both at the,
There are people also voting in the chat.
Yeah.
Another one says truffle.
Truffle, okay.
Definitely London Dry.
You
So
see
again,
it,
50-50.
you see it. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine.
Dry again.
Dry.
Yeah, dry.
So
Well,
what we are, 5-5?
Maybe you should make a package like a combi, a smaller one with truffle and a smaller one with London Dry.
That's nice too. That's nice too. Well, thank you. I think we will do that, definitely.
Yeah, so you don't have to fight anymore.
well, I thank you guys. It has been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure having you
Yeah,
around,
we had a
everyone.
good laugh. Thank you very much, Paolo and Marin.
Thank you.
Thanks
Pascal,
to
it was
everyone.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Because now we
Thank
already
you.
have the guys from Pittermans with us. So I will switch back to German. Thanks everyone. Thanks Paolo. Thanks
Vielen
Pascal.
Dank für alle. Das haben die unsere Video geschaut. Vielen Dank.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Cheers.